Hey, Little Chuck here again with a short video. So you're probably watching this because you're asking the question, is my harmonica broken? Well, it might be, it might not be. So let's go to the workshop, we'll try and figure it out. Alright, so here we are at the workshop, which is just my gig case. And I'm going to talk about the 10-hole diatonic harmonica. And I guess you're watching this video because you've got one of these things and it's just not sounding the way you think it should sound. Okay, and there can be various reasons for that. It might be that you've been playing a lot over the last few days and it doesn't sound as good as it did 3 days ago. Or you might have just bought a brand new one and you're thinking, hang on a minute, that's not sounding right. Or you could have just found one in your granddad's drawer and it's been sitting there for 50 years or something. Anyway, yeah, this is going to be a bit of an overview, and I'm not going to go into in-depth detail. It's not going to be like a mega diagnostic video or anything, or going into extreme detail about how to fix everything, but I'm going to give you an overview, and it's just going to hopefully help you determine what the problem might be. So, rightio, and now I'll get this out from the start. I'm not a professional repairer or anything like that. I'm just a harmonica player who's been playing for a long time, and I've managed to take a few of these apart. I've fixed a few, I've broken a few, so I just want to give you a benefit of my experience, really. So, alright, first one. A lot of beginner students say this to me. Hole to draw doesn't seem to make the right noise. Alright, are you ready for this? Sounds a bit like that. Generally, it's not anything wrong with the harmonica. That's a case of a bad workman blaming his tools. If you're a beginner, that's a case that you've got to get your embouchure right. You've got to get your technique right, your mouth shape right. You've got to get your lip block or your tongue block sorted out. Okay, and there's plenty of videos on YouTube all about lip blocking, tongue blocking, embouchure, and all that. As soon as you get that right, your technique right, okay, hole to draw will sort itself out. It'll sound like this. Okay, so you won't have any problems with that. Right, now the next thing is, you might have a harmonica that's, for some reason, it sounds like it's blocked or something. One of the holes doesn't make a noise. I think this one does this. Woo! All right. So, okay, you've got to figure out what's going on here. Now, it could be simple. It could be that the reed isn't working because it's full of saliva, all right? So really, when you finish playing a harp, just knock the saliva out of it, okay? And often when I do that at the end of a gig, somebody always wants to come up and shake my hand, but that's another story altogether. So yeah, just do that. Now, you can also run warm water through one of these things. So do that, run it under the hot tap and see what happens. Now, the wooden comb ones, they can swell, but they, you know, they do go back to shape. But yeah, the plastic ones, you've got no problem doing that. That's fine. So that can be something to try. All right, and you've also got to, you know, think back a couple of days and think, hang on a minute, did I eat a bag of peanuts and then start playing the harmonica? Because if you did, I can guarantee that they're probably stuck in there. All right, you've got to remember that whatever goob is floating around in your mouth is going to end up in there. Inside one of these, when you open it up, it is pretty grim, I can tell you. So yeah, a bit of personal hygiene comes into it. So right now. The next step would be to take one apart and have a look at some of these other issues. Now, this is, again, a case of you need to think about the economics and the sentimentality of your instrument. So if it was your old granddad's and you don't feel like taking it apart, okay, talk to a professional repair guy about it. There's plenty of repairers out there. And again, some of them can be quite valuable. But the flip side to that is, I mean, here's a harmonica. It looks like all the others. But I don't know where this came from. I think it came from a Christmas cracker. It's rubbish. So what you know, it's, for me, it's hardly worth the bother fixing. You know, so yeah, I just you know, give it to a kid to play or something, and get yourself a new one. So, but if you're feeling confident and you want to take one apart, you can do it pretty easily, right? I'll show you how to do it. So, first of all, so this is a Lee Oscar, just as an example. Now, with Lee Oscars, you've got 2 screws at each end. Most have 2 screws, apart from these marine bands, they don't, but a lot of them have a couple of screws. And when you take one apart, okay, when you take the screws off, what you're actually left with is you take the cover plates off, okay, and you're left with what's called the comb and the reed plates, okay. Now, it might just be that when you take that off there, you might see something stuck in the reed, okay. So you can just flick it out with something, It might be on the inside ones, you might see something stuck in there. Okay, and you just flick it out. So if you're feeling really confident and you know what you're doing, you can actually take out the reed plates, all right, if the harmonica allows you to do so. Not all harmonicas have the facility to be able to do that. But if you've got something like the Lee Oscar harmonica, or you've got, say, some of the Hohner MS, or even these are the Suzukis, you can actually take them apart and actually replace the insides. Here we go. Here's a set of reeds for a Lee Oscar harmonica. So you just take off those screws and take it out. Now, okay, another common problem might be that the harmonica is out of tune, okay? And I'll show you what I mean, because I think this one's out of tune. Okay, now, harmonicas can be tuned professionally, okay? Again, it boils down to economics. If it's a $2 harmonica, it's not going to be worth the bother. So, but if it's an expensive harmonica, it can certainly be tuned, okay? But the flip side is, if you've got something like the Lee Oscars, again, you can just buy the reed plates for a fraction of the cost, so you just replace the whole reed plate, okay? And but you know, likewise with the Lee Oscars and with harmonicas, you can actually tune them yourself if you know what you're doing. But it's not for the faint-hearted to do that, really. Now, another thing is that the harmonica might be buzzing, and that can often be to do with the reed itself has sort of gone out of line a little bit. It's not square in the hole here, okay? And if it's not square and it's not vibrating properly, you can actually you just put them back true, okay? And but again, you've got to kind of know what you're doing a little bit. All right, now the other common problem is that the harmonica, it works when you blow it really hard, but it doesn't work when you blow it softly, okay? And vice versa to that as well. And that's to do with what's called your reed offset. That's to do with this distance between the reed, I don't know if you'll be able to see that from here, but the reed against the reed plate. And the reeds can actually be bent into shape and adjusted the and you can adjust the offset. But again, you've got to know what you're doing a little bit for that, okay? But that can be a simple little fix, and you can sort your harmonica out that way. So look, I think I've covered most of the main ones. And if you've liked what you've heard here and you think it's been helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more sort of quirky harmonica stuff and lots of blues stuff and one-man band stuff and all that. Yeah, so please subscribe. And I've been Little Chuck, the one-man skiffle machine, and been taking a few harmonicas apart for you. All right, see you next time.